Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the show at Rise Up Show with me, your host, the Queen Bee, Danny Wallace. How are you feeling?
As we chat this morning to the devilishly handsome, the fabulously wonderful, the incredibly knowledgeable Mr. Fidel Hill, the modern man. Good morning. Jodie Salt, good morning. Bavna Reddy, good morning. Elise Woodbine, good morning. The devilishly handsome Ian Dixon, good morning, sir.
Shut up, for f***'s sake. Jesus.
The fantastic Lizzie Jackson Barrett, good morning. Josephine Sandra, everybody, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Thursday, you lot. How are you doing? Come on in here. Come and get a cuddle. Let's see how we're doing. Now then, I hope that we can all still stay friends. There's something I want to talk to you about this morning too. I've got a huge announcement. It is massive announcement for you all this morning for our community. And also, if you are a Potter fan, we need to get over the fact that the Sorting Hat put me in Slytherin. I'm one of the good guys, so you'll just have to forgive me if you are, if you're Team Gryffindor or Hufflepuff or Ravenclaw. Please understand, we can still be friends. All personality traits are needed, and not all Slytherin. It's like that not all men thing in the feminist argument. It's not all Slytherin are evil and horrible. Some Slytherin are very nice and kind and thoughtful and just ambitious, and that's where I'm at. So, hello, good morning, everybody. I hope you are all well. We just slide into Thursday, then Friday, and then relax for the weekend. I hope you can. Rachel Davis, good morning. Welcome to our usual suspects. Welcome to Karen Dawkins. Hello. Ashley is shouting for Simon already. He's got his fan club ready and waiting in the wings. We have got such a guest on for you this morning. We only met a couple of weeks ago. When you meet someone online, you go, do you know what? I like the cut of your jib. And that person goes, do you know what? Hey, I like the cut of yours too. And a friendship was then birthed. And I was like, hey, mate, you've got to get onto my show and let us have a proper conversation. For the first time, of course, in front of an audience. Why not? So we've got fabulous Simon who's going to be joining us in just a few short minutes. Whilst we gather our audiences this morning, please tell us what's happening in the world where you are in the weather. It is one of those scorcher mornings. It is cold and crisp and beautiful up here in Preston. What's happening where you are in the world, in our global audiences? We've got Simon coming through from South Africa this morning. Whereabouts are you in the world? Let us know what the weather is doing where you are. It's a very British conversation. What's the weather doing? Generally, it's a bit shit. But today, it's actually quite glorious outside. So I'm very excited on my break today to get the kids with the boots on and wrap them up warm and get out for a good stomp. I'm ready for it. Now then, announcements. We have a big announcement this morning. It's huge. It's not a small announcement. Now then, most of you know, if you've been following my community for a while, that I am a lover of events. I love getting you all in a room, be it in workshops, be it in, it's sunny. Jane Baker, of course it is. It's sunny here, obviously, in Lanzarote. It's never not sunny. There we go, represented up there. Blue skies and sunshine with a carpet of white remaining. We'll give it a scorchio for Norfolk. There we are, Norfolk. So you all know that I love an event, and I've desperately over the past 12 months, as have so many of you, missed being in rooms with people. We've all got a little bit of Zoom fatigue. We've all got a little bit of scroll fatigue, and we kind of want to get out into this world that we live in once again. And we've been scuppered, haven't we? We want to go out for something to eat. We can't go to a restaurant. We want to go to a personal development event. We can't because we can't hug in rooms and jump up and down and get excited. Now then, let me take a sip of my brew. It's quite apt this morning because your girl, as ever, has been dreaming pretty big. I don't play small. And this is what this announcement this morning is all about. So Be Inspired is the motivational and inspirational personal development event that I put on every 6 months. So last September, we couldn't do it. The speakers are all graduates from programs that I've been running. So the Be Inspired Mastermind or my VIP one-to-one clients or whatever. And what we do is we share our heart stories with you, our inspirational stories with you, our motivational stories with you, business learning, life learning, all of that stuff over the course of a day. And we bring our whole community together to just remember to check in with ourselves that actually it's a whole experience. Business is not just a business experience. It's a whole life experience. So Be Inspired is about that. It's about, you know, imagine that your energy is like a mobile phone battery and it runs out and runs out and runs out. And we need these events to plug ourselves in, reconnect and fill ourselves back up. Well, Be Inspired is just that. But here's the thing. The last Be Inspired was meant to run at the end of September. And of course, it was absolutely heartbreaking. I don't know if you remember at the time when I had to postpone the event in its entirety. We decided to move it to April, the 22nd and 23rd of April. And we decided that we were going to just make it into a big festival. So we're going to bring 2 cohorts together, 20 speakers, amazing value over those 2 days. We're going to do it at the Impossible in Manchester. And then we got thrown into another lockdown over here in the UK. Now, that got me to thinking. The last decision that I made about postponement was right to the nail. I was holding on and holding on and holding on. Now, when that announcement got made in January, that made me realize that actually we can't be too sure. And with that in mind, what I started to do is I started to think, okay, so what can we do? How can we create something that is going to be mind-blowing, that is going to be flagship, that is going to stand out above everything that's going on out there, the noise of the internet, the Zoom summits, all of this? What can we do? And I was inspired by the incredible Brad Burton, who last year put on his live event in a studio. So I went and sought out that studio. And on the 22nd and 23rd now, because we'd had to stop ticket sales, I weren't able to sell you any tickets. I couldn't big you up. I couldn't big our speakers up. I couldn't share with the world these incredible speakers because what? Here's these incredible speakers for my event that you can't come to because we can't facilitate you. So what we're going to do instead is we are going to take Be Inspired and put it in a slick ass TV studio. We are going to create the most wonderful experience. Yes, it's going to be online, but you can get involved too. So tickets are going to go on sale today. I am going to email all of you that are on my email list. If you are not on my email list, you're going to want to be, because there's going to be some opportunities for you lot as well. So you're going to need to go to imthequeenbee.co.uk and go to the bottom, pop your email address in. And then today, later on today, you will get an email with all of the juicy gossip. I'm going to spill the tea even more in my emails today. So here's what you need to know. That the 22nd and 23rd of April are going to be off the shizzle. We're going to put on an event that is going to be absolutely flagship in terms of quality and in terms of content. We're going to be raising money for the Fly Anyway Foundation that is now going full steam ahead. We've had all of our approval. So we're getting all of our ambassadors in place. We will be taking on business builders from May. So it will allow us to raise money, to bring in those business builders, to bring in those incredible survivors to help them build their businesses and create their independence off of the back of it. So it's going to be our first big fundraising push as part of it. But it is tickets at £89. Here's the cool thing. You can get your ticket for free. So we're going to create an affiliate scheme, or we have created an affiliate scheme. Again, all the details of this will be in your email. That if you share your affiliate link and you sell 4 tickets, you will get the cost of your ticket back to you. So for every ticket you sell, tickets at £89, you will get in your bank £25. So you can get yourselves earning a little bit of money just by sharing the Be Inspired event. So not only have we got this amazing potential to provide you with a fantastic event, but also this is going to be the biggest IATQB event I have ever attempted to undertake. But we can only do that together. We can only do that as a community. So I'm going to go live in the Secret Squirrel group directly after the show today to give you all information. There will be a competition that is running. I'm going to tell you about that. If you are not a secret squirrel, I want to know that you want to be a secret squirrel, and I will get you into the IATQB Secret Squirrel group. So there will be a competition for people who are not speakers, who are going to be ticket affiliates. Tickets are £89, exclusive of that. You can get the cost of your ticket back. All you need to do is sell 4 tickets. So you can come to this incredible event for free. How insane is that? It's the best thing that could have ever happened. And the quality is going to be absolutely banging. Right, that is the announcement this morning. More to come in your emails to tell you about that, how you can get involved, how to sign up, how to buy a ticket. So if you just want to get a ticket and get amongst it, that is 2 days at £89, chock full, absolutely chock full of inspiration, motivation, business strategy, all sorts of incredible stuff. And we're going to have an absolute ball while we do it, because we don't do things by halves. All you need to do is search, if you want to be a squirrel, IATQB, secret squirrel, and it will come up and I will let you in. Right, I love you all, but that is enough about me. That is enough about us. We're going to bring our fantastic guest in. Like I said, we met just a couple of weeks ago, a few short weeks ago. It was not... this has not been a long time in the planning, but when you meet someone and you think, God, you've got something incredible to say, my people absolutely need you, then that's how we make the earth move, and we create space for wonderful people to come onto this show. So I'm hoping I'm going to say this right. I should have asked this beforehand, and I think, like, hopefully you'll forgive me. But we've got the phenomenal, all the way from South Africa, copywriting absolute master. He has a way with words like no other. Please welcome to the show, Simon Kozlowski. Are you there? Hello.
Hey, Danny, how are you?
That's so good. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us on the show at Rise Up Show, all the way from South Africa.
Yeah, I've flapped my arms really hard and fast to get here. It's really awesome to be here. Thanks for having me in such a beautiful space.
All the way down to your, is that your study or your kitchen? Like, where are you at? Your lounge?
So this is a reshift of our lounge so that you can't see the things going on in the periphery. This is masterful manipulation of visuals. So this is in my lounge.
I am here for masterful manipulation of the visuals, because this has hidden an absolute state for the past 12 months. And I don't even know what it's going to be like when we move. It's going to be absolutely crackers. I just want to, before we get into things, I want to thank our incredible mutual friend, the fantastic Jane Baker, for introducing me to you via a post. And I was like, hey, I want to be this guy's mate, and sent you a little friend request. And we started just chatting, right?
Yeah, and it was 2 peas in a pod from the word go. I don't think either of us used the word go, but it was there between the lines.
Yeah, absolutely. So Simon, tell us more about what you do.
So when you give me such an open-ended invitation like that, I run the risk of rambling. So
please ramble. We are here to hear you.
I'll give you the short version first. So essentially what I do is I use structured words to reveal rock stars. There's a rock star in all of us. We have an amazing contribution to make to the world. We just struggle to get up onto the stage. And so I essentially use words to build a staircase that rock stars can step onto their stage with.
Using words beautifully spoken as well as written. So Simon, what brought you to that work?
The School of Hard Knocks and crash course experimentation over 20 years. So I have done, as I was sharing I'm in a group, I'm on Jane's program, which I want to give a massive shout out to Jane. She is just freaking awesome. But
Jane Baker is phenomenal. Please, you guys go and check her out.
I'll be dropping a few nuggets from Jane. So this will probably be the Simon-esque filtering of most of the stuff Jane's been saying to me over the last while. But so as a copywriter, I will reverse engineer this thing. So as a copywriter, I am in that basket of people called marketers. But I'm a bit of a reluctant marketer. So before I was a copywriter, I worked for a global advertising agency. and I sold TV adverts to the likes of Procter and Gamble, L'Oreal. We had other stuff going on, but TV ads was really what we did. And they were boring, templated, what I call karaoke copy ads, just using tried and tested formulas in 30 seconds to sell more soap and sell more washing powder and skin products. So before that, I had been an innovation coach for about 3 or 4 years. And that was really, I'd been studying marketing and business models, and I'd been in and out of various jobs, which I'll give you a sneak peek at some of those, an audio snippet. But it was as an innovation coach, I was bringing something new and vibrant, completely revolutionary to the innovation space. I mean, innovation is about revolution, but it was starchy, and it was only the Harvard and the Oxford type guys who were selling innovation. They were selling it to the Fortune 50 companies, and it was just as boring as mashed potato. It was just so...
It's not as innovative. Yeah, it's not as innovative as they would maybe have us believe. Because if you come from those places, yes, they say, lots of the creative thinkers are born there, but are they? Arguably, are they? Being from academia, you are bound by so much, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So even the way you would introduce the topic of innovation would be in a very old industrial academic approach. So that in itself was frustrating for me. So I reinvented innovation and made it, not single-handedly, obviously, but I realized that everybody needs to innovate. Individuals need to innovate. Small businesses need to innovate. So all the money was being driven at corporates, which are really 1% of the buying power, in that space.
Right.
And you had to wear a suit, or at least a suit with sneakers, because that was cool.
Yeah, you'd be cool if you wore a suit with sneaks, right?
Exactly. Remembering this is about 6-7 years ago.
Right.
So
not that long.
But suits and sneakers was cutting edge. I mean, that was like iPhones had just come out, sort of thing. But what I did was I branded myself, instead of innovation, as the reinvention coach, and I came up with this cool invent model, and I did all this cool stuff. I had amazing branding, but the problem was a bit of a business model challenge and I was selling business model innovation, but I needed business model innovation.
Right.
People weren't really buying high ticket consulting at that time over the interwebs. They were just like, no, you've got to get on a plane and fly here to teach us about business model innovation.
Right.
And so being stuck on the tail end of the African continent, lots of other people competing, the buying power being in the US and Europe and in the UK. There were other people in closer proximity who were undercutting me in price and selling me repackaged goods. So I realized I had a marketing problem.
Right.
And so reluctantly, I started diving into books, courses, and learned everything from funnels to ad copy to all the things.
Yeah, all of the things that to people that are just starting out for a second time. So when we talk about, ad copy, when we talk about funnels and what have you, when people are just moving into the entrepreneurial space, and my audience sort of sit in two camps. One, they're already entrepreneurs and they're set up and they're wanting to level up. And then other people who are inspired by my journey that want to come through and start to build a business. So when we start talking about things like copy, and when we start talking about things like funnels, and when we start talking about things like tech, it starts to get overwhelming, doesn't it? So you threw yourself into at that point. So being successful and being an innovator and what have you, you still had to go and learn those things so that you could have sort of a transmissible business, I guess. Yeah,
and so you've just pulled me back to planet Earth, and I'm so grateful for it.
I've got you.
The challenge is there is so much jargon, there is so much inner circle, outer circle stuff going on in business as usual, but in marketing. And there are all these various tiers and levels, and you've got to almost a little bit like Freemasonry. If you want to know what's on the other side of the door, you've got to pass through like 10 levels just so that you can get
Do
to
the
sit
secret
at the outside
handshake.
table. Well, there's 42 different secret handshakes. So you don't just, and we'll know who you are by how you shake hands. So that's the problem with
Right.
marketing.
We know where you've come from. We know who you've learned from. We know where you've been, right?
And still saturated with that Ivy League, trying to sell innovation when you didn't come from Harvard. You needed to figure out how to hack the game. So I spent a lot of time going, I'm not that guy. I'm not Justin Timberlake suit and tie, corporate guy. As much as I've flirted and had some romance with corporate employment, I end up in messy breakups every time. And so what I started to do was I started to get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper until I didn't know up from down. I had this crazy marketing vertigo going on.
Right.
And what happens is you're buying more stuff. Marketers are great at manipulating you to believe that you don't know enough and you're not good enough.
Right.
And so you need this next thing,
Right.
which then obviously sets up a new problem. Marketing strategy 101, sell the next problem before they've finished buying.
Right.
And so you're just in this constant hamster wheel of I'm not good enough, I need more. And the secret is the guys who are killing it really just believe in themselves and have conviction about how they're going to market.
It's interesting. I was having a conversation yesterday with one of my clients, and she was asking me about a secret sauce. I've got a program called the Overnight Success Program, and it's completely tongue-in-cheek because there are no overnight successes. Yeah. It's just people who take steps and decide to document those steps so that they can repeat it again and again, and they can tweak it. It's a constant state of do and assess, right? And then redo and then reassess. Excuse me. So she was asking me, what is the secret to doing these things? How do you do what you do? How do you innovate the way that you do? And I'm like, I just do it. So many people, because of that not enoughness, because of the fear of investing, because of the fear or not knowing who, because it is saturated, it is so noisy. The last 12 months got a whole lot noisier as well, because everyone like flooded online. It was like this tsunami of marketers. You need this, you need this, you need this. And then there's people that are sat on the periphery with great ideas, great expertise, incredible business ideas, incredible ways of delivering, going, oh, but I need this, and then 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 I need that. And we end up being very knowledgeable fools, where actually, if you just did what it was that you said you were going to do, and then build from there and do your due diligence instead of allowing yourself to constantly be sold to, that's the only difference between someone who does and someone who doesn't, is that someone who does. They get frightened of doing.
Yeah, it's on point. So knowledgeable fools, I was that guy. I think let me just come totally clean here I'm still that guy. I'm still trying to unlearn all of the junk that I spent a lot of money acquiring.
Right. So we pay all this money to learn all these things, and then we go, oh, right. Let's eject some of that.
Yeah. And the next guy that comes along and strums on your heartstrings tells you that the last stuff you bought was wrong, and he tells you why it's wrong and why you need his stuff. And so you just go, oh, well, let me just throw all of that stuff out. Thank God I'm in the right place right now. Oh, and then the next time, and it doesn't work, it doesn't translate, exactly because you are learning and not applying. So you become a very knowledgeable fool.
Right.
And, at the end of the day, marketing, and I was having this conversation with one of my JV partners about 20 minutes before this call. I was just going, let's remind each other that marketing is manipulation. It is manipulating your emotions. It is manipulating your thoughts and feelings. As somebody else recently said on your show, and I forget who it is, so forgive me for not attributing correctly, we make an emotional decision and we validate that decision with logic. But we've already made the decision. Now we start lining up all this stuff. And marketers are great at manipulating you. Now we take words and we put veneers of meaning on words that don't necessarily apply. So manipulation can be positive. manipulation.
I was just going to say, like, we're not saying this is a bad thing. This is just that we need to understand this when we're marketing our business, that we need to sometimes mold what it is that we're saying in order to get however it is that you're helping people in front of them. So we've got to strike that fine balance when you've got the heart of your business, your values, your core set of values. You know you're going to help people, then understanding that positive manipulation, if they don't know they've got a problem, then we've got to be able to share with them that they've got a problem. But as long as you built your business with integrity and you've built your business with the core belief that you're in that positive, that integral space, that helpful space, that servant space, then that is positive manipulations. Please don't get the word skewed on this for those of you listening. We're talking about manipulation and we find that icky and we find, I've been manipulated. I don't like feeling like that. And that's not what we're saying here, is it?
No, not at all. So a mental schema, like a little hinge mechanism on which we can swing some new understanding of that word. Not many people, there are some, but not many people would call a chiropractor or a physiotherapist evil. We know that they're there to do good.
Yep.
But they have to manipulate our bodies in order to produce alignment, in order to... So marketers are like chiropractors. They're manipulating certain beliefs, certain word structures, so that we can come into alignment with what they want us to believe and take the action that they want us to take. Now you get integrous marketers who manipulate that for people's benefit. Yeah. And then you get disingenuous marketers, happy marketers, monster marketers.
Shitbags.
Yeah, okay, let's go. Let's just go the full run.
Shitbags and knobheads.
So those people are obviously, and you, if you just take a moment to go, how does this make me feel? Yeah. You can if you just take a step back and you go, what are the emotions that I'm feeling? What is this making me believe about myself? You can very quickly discern, is this marketing that is manipulating me based on my insecurities, or is it marketing that is manipulating me towards my ambitions and objectives and ambitions and goals and future dreams?
And I guess when people are making those kinds of investments, when they're choosing to make those kinds of investments, checking in with that feeling when you're about to make that investment as well is really handy. Because, excuse me, got a frog in my throat this morning, Simon. So when you're making an investment, sometimes a substantial investment, there are two feelings that you'll feel. One is a little bit sick and the other is a little bit excited. But if you're feeling overwhelmed by making that, it might not be the best thing. If you feel like you've been pressured into doing something or overwhelmed into doing something, that's probably a sign intrinsically in your gut that is telling you that it might not be the right thing. There's a difference between feeling excitement and going, oh my goodness, I can see what this is going to do for my business. I understand how that process works. I just need to know how to slot it all together. Or, I need that particular service in my business so I can see how it's going to scale. I know in your case, for example, using words and word structures to paint incredible pictures and to do that positive manipulation to bring clients towards your clients. And help them grow and scale their business, so the client gets helped, and the client's client gets helped, and everybody gets help. That's if someone was looking to invest in somebody like you, then it would be that excitement. Oh, I can see how this is going to grow, scale my business. But sometimes there'll be investment opportunities out there that make you go, oh God, that makes intuition. And this has been a real theme in the show for the past few weeks, Simon. Intuition and allowing ourselves to check in with ourselves when we make any kind of decision is something that we keep coming back to. And this quietness and coming back to yourself when you're thinking about these things is really, really, really important. How do you use your craft to help people make those decisions? And how do you choose to work with a client?
So we're in alignment here, because I was going to jump into that. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday who is selling a product that was a little bit touch and go for me. I wasn't quite sure if I believed in it or I didn't. And they had the money to spend. They had come through a a group that is quite where I'm quite active, and I don't want to dishonor anybody, so I just want to be very careful in my wording. But essentially, the crux of the thing was that they were selling a premium membership model where somebody was going to have to keep on paying. And when I went, who is your perfect client? Tell me about your perfect client. And then they said, oh, my perfect client is this. Now, often when my clients are talking about who their perfect client is, they're coming from the angle, and this is how the first sign that I'll know they might not be a good fit for me.
Right.
There's some more research required. But the first thing is they are looking at where can I make the most money.
Right.
So
yes.
They're going, if I target this audience, I can make 5 times what I make with this audience.
Right.
So obviously, in business, we're in business to make money, and you'd be a fool to turn away a vibrant opportunity so that you can work harder for a lower income. I mean, that's kind of running the wrong way in the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Having low value, high volume is hard going, especially if you're in the service industry and you're exchanging time for money. So this is an understandable conundrum that many people in the service industry, particularly coaches, therapists, people who do exchange that time for money, there's a conundrum that we come across very daily.
Yeah. So this person was saying to me, okay, I can do that. So I said to them, well, tell me about the change that you make in their lives. And what would their life look like if they continued on the path they're on and you didn't help them, versus if you spent some time with them, they spent some money with you, and they got your value, what would that look like? So a fundamental belief for me, I mean, it's a universal marketing principle that everybody, if you think about anything you've bought, you have bought to move from a pain to a desired gain. So you want to move away from discomfort and you want to move towards comfort. Now, sometimes that comfort is financial. Sometimes that comfort is social.
Yeah.
In groups and out groups, you want to move away from being rejected or not accepted to being loved and accepted. Or you want to move away from the pain of not having enough to pay your bills to having abundance to live the life of your dreams.
Yeah.
In some aspect, anything we buy is on some level moving us away from pain to desired gain.
Right.
So when I ask someone and I say, how do you change someone's lives? I'm looking to see the pain that they alleviate and the gain that they facilitate.
Right.
And what did they take away and what did they move them towards? And when they are more clear about how they will benefit versus how their client will benefit,
right,
there's already alarm bells going off.
Right, absolutely.
So when the other thing, which is pretty soon afterwards down the path, is when they start. So what I do is I make sure that I'm connecting who you are with who your audience is. And a lot of the times, even though I'm supposedly just a copywriter, a lot of the times I'm helping people shift the value offering, change the audience, and go, I went with a health coach recently and I went, you are targeting the wrong people. These people are happy to stand in line for 4 hours a day to get NHS support that doesn't move them in their journey.
Right.
But these other people will go, I'd gladly pay £500 to get back my 4 hours and actually see some measurable result.
Right.
And so we need to be looking at who really desires transformation.
Right.
Because people will pay for, the right people will pay for transformation. And that's what we want. We want to become something else. That
Absolutely.
Someone and something that has different problems to the ones we currently have.
And this is what's interesting, Simon, about what you do and what I do. I've helped people with the spoken word. You help people, for the most part, with the written word. But what happens is when we both start doing the work, when we start working with words and messaging, it is a deeper piece. It's not just about writing an ad or a sales page or a lead page or whatever. It's not just about standing up on stage and giving a talk. You've got to go deeper. You've got to think about your end goal in mind, and not your end goal, the end goal for the people that you really want to help. You've got to really be so clear on that. And that's what makes people delicious, is when we can articulate that, written or no, when we can articulate that and convey that. That's when you start to become a magnet. That is when you start to draw people to you, because then you can't help it. You become delicious because you come from that really heart-driven space, that helps servant-led space. So it's fascinating when I speak to people who deliver via different mediums, how very similar what it is that we do underneath. It's just the delivery, the vehicle is different, right?
Yeah. And Danny, you said a key word. You said service-led. And a lot of people say they want to serve people, but serving is hard work.
It is.
And a lot of, I mean, just let's interject here and congratulate you on your Amazon show. I mean,
it's not my show. Amazing. I'm just going to feature on it. I've not been commissioned a whole lot. This show hasn't been commissioned yet.
Yet. Good clarification there. Right. So the point I was going to make is that you've consistently showed up on the good days and the bad days, and service to your audience when very often they're just taking and taking and taking and taking. It's tough, and it's not for the faint of heart or the faint of stamina. So when you commit to being in a service business, you need to understand that you are in it for the gain of your customers. Now, you can structure it in such a way that when they win, you win too. And they win, the bigger they win, the bigger you win. So circling back to Jane, what I love about Jane's approach to marketing, Jane recently ran a 6-figure launch. And I know that's quite jargony, so let me just say this. She launched an offering. She put an offering out into the world that pretty much defies most of the written rules in marketing. Right. So she didn't have an email list. She didn't even send out an email. She didn't have a sales funnel or a sales page. So just for those who don't know what a sales funnel is, you'll see an ad, you'll click on that ad, you'll go through to the next thing, and you led like a lamb to the slaughter through the processes. And what Jane did is she ran a live with Sarah Stone in collaboration. They did 3 lives. They then nonchalantly announced that they were running a program. They didn't even tell you what the price of the program was. They then said, if you want to know about the program, reach out to us. They then said, oh, by the way, so if you asked, you would be told verbally or in a message what the price of the program was. If you asked, please send me for a link to the sales page, which I did, because I'm a sales page guy. There is no sales page. They are the sales page. Right. And so then they go, and look, if you need some help with sorting out a financial payment plan, because it's a premium program, chat to us about it. Like, that was the, and they did a 6-figure launch, so they made in excess of $100,000 in sales in a couple of days with no sales funnel, no emails, because they got a few key ingredients right. Right. They were speaking. So they firstly embodied their truth. So that is obviously any person who's looking to create raving fans that foam at the mouth while they wave their credit cards in the air needs to embody the truth that they're selling. Because as manipulative as marketers can be, buyers are smart and they know when something's not right.
They know when they're being had.
Yeah. And so deep down, we are actually really smart. And maybe we'll swipe once, but we might come away with anger and rejection. So, just in terms of Jane's launch as an example, they had been through the transformation themselves in their lives. So it's easier to sell who you are rather than what you say you are. If I tell you I've got measles, but I've actually got something else, and I cough on you, you're going to get whatever I've got, not measles.
Right.
So I'm avoiding fear around the current pandemic.
Oh, God.
But people catch what you've got, not what you say you've got. And so why Jane and Sarah were so effective in their launch is because they'd already embodied their truth, but they'd also been very clear about who they served. And there were some people that came to them and said, "Oh, this is amazing. I want to buy." And they went, "You are not right, because we won't get you the results that we'll get for other people, because you're just not in the place you need to be in order to sell." And so I think that's a very key part of understanding how we sell and who we sell to, and if it's a good fit or if it's not a good fit.
Yeah, because the thing is, you take someone's money and they're not a good fit. They might not be far enough along in their journey for that particular thing that you're sharing at that point in time, or they might be too far along and then what you're offering is too basic almost. You could still take their money, because they're saying, "Here, take my money." You've got to be able to, again, in that integrity, say, "Do you know what, actually, this might not be a good fit for you right now. I've got something else," having a suite of services that look after, whoever these people are, or that actually that my delivery style probably isn't gonna tick the boxes for you. We're probably going to have difficulties. Actually, you want to go and see my other friend who's this public speaking coach, who is class, and you're going to want to go and deal with her because she's really skilled in this particular field that which you want to get involved with. And being able to say that and not being, it's hard though. I came from a place where I had shite all, Simon. So I had nothing. The coffers were empty. I was running on empty. My car was breaking down left, right, and center. I desperately wanted to sell, and it was hard at the beginning to say no to the people that weren't ready, because I was like, I can't feed my family. And some people are feeling like this right now. Some people are feeling like, oh, I've got to take these clients on. And the magical thing, and it's only when it's very easy. Many of you will think it's very easy for us to sit here with our successful businesses, etc., to say it's okay for you. You get to knock people back. You're not worried about, putting the gas in the meter or, paying your rent this month. But I did. And actually the magical thing is when I start being discerning about A, what I was selling, but B, who I was working with, that started to magically create more abundance within my abundance of joy. This is not just talking about financial success here, more joy in my business, where yesterday was a prime example. I was feeling a little bit flat, even though I had a great conversation in the morning with the TV production company, and we'd signed and it was all brilliant. But I'd woke up in the morning, I was feeling a little bit, there's a lot on today. It feels quite busy. But then I looked at who I was going to be working with. And every call I was like, I can't wait to get to you. I can't wait to get to you. And that is the magic of what happens when you are discerning about who you bring to you, because then you want to do more and they get more, and then you get better testimonials because everyone's having a better time because you've chosen who you're working with, and that begets more success. So I think it's a little shift right at the beginning. Instead of everything, don't scoop everybody up, because not everybody's right for you. Having trusted others that you can refer people to is a better experience for the people that aren't quite right for you, right?
Beautifully said. And if I had to sum everything that you so eloquently said in one word, it would be alignment.
Yeah. And we bandy that word around quite a lot. Yeah.
It's a word that deserves to be bandied around. It needs to be bandied around a little more, I think.
I hear that. So, and the more that we wake up to this, the better our businesses get, the more honest our businesses get. And, we find these are shark-infested waters here on the internet, you lot, in the social media particularly. These are shark-infested waters. How do we create schools of amazing, I don't know, not sharks, but equally powerful, super nice sharks, the one that are fish, not friends, they're fish are friends, that sort of thing. How do we create those communities? And that's what, dolphins. Dolphins, absolutely. Running together and playing together and working together and growing together and all of that. And having, the people that I have on my show, yourself included, is about creating those, pods all around the place so that we can protect each other and grow together. I'm just dead excited to know more, of people like yourself, like Jane. Sarah Stowe's my cousin. I couldn't be more proud of what they achieved last week. It was watching on as a family member. I was like, yes, because I know where Sarah's come from. I know she came from the same place as me. We grew up together. We grew up like sisters. Yeah. So I just love seeing more people come through that are aligned, that are using that word, that are waking up, that realize that we can do it better. So, Simon, we are at 45 minutes, and I feel like I could speak to you forever and ever about all of these incredible things. But I wonder, we've not spoken.
Yeah.
Oh, please. No, please drop the things. Drop the things.
No, I was going to say, I think so. I definitely want to bring some value and give somebody some practical handles. And for the early marketer or the unsuccessful marketer, however you might define that, some of the challenges are you listen to these stories, you hear people explain these things, but there aren't these sort of handles to grab on and pull yourself through the muck and the mire of where you are right now. So I'd love to just give quick sticks, just dump a few handles.
We are here. I have got my notepad and pen. I am ready. Like, go.
So I have this, and I'll give you a link after this, where I've got a sales page, but it's not even a sales page. Like, by the time you get to the stuff at the end of the sales page, you've had a thesis in sales copy and how to write messaging. So it talks, and I'll give the link to that, and I'll sort of give a headline, but it has the 5 fundamental failures of copy. So, being a little bit playful, and my brand being sales copy that rocks, and playing on the rock star analogy, I've obviously, played with that wording. There are 5 mistakes. I developed the ROCKS ideology. Now, I'll give this ROCKS ideology to you now, but this is essentially the secret ingredients to compelling messaging. So it's whether you're writing a Facebook ad, or you're giving a talk, or you are doing a video, or you are writing a letter to a desired love who thinks you're not all that and you're needing to shift them. These 5 things, public speaking number 101, I should like signal the 5 things. These are essentially the ingredients for rockstar copy. So it's the ROCKS acronym, so that you can remember it. So if you want to write sales copy that rocks, the first thing you need to do is resonate with your audience.
Resonate. Now, number 1, resonate. Got it.
Number 1, resonate. So you've got to come in. We were talking about alignment. You've got to come in. You've got to align with where they are in their journey. You've got to align with how they are thinking. So here's a quick secret about the best copywriters. When I say the best copywriters, the ones who charge the most and get the best results. Most of them know that if you do good research and you just listen to what people are saying, the copy writes itself. Right. You know what the framework and the structure is? You just have to stand in the marketplace and listen, and you can use the words that people are saying, because then it resonates with them, and they go, oh my gosh, this person is speaking my language.
Yeah, he knows me.
Yeah. Nelson Mandela's got a stunning quote, or had a stunning, well, there's a stunning quote attributed to Nelson Mandela, which is, if you speak to a man in his language, if you speak to a man in a language he understands, it goes to his head. Now, most of us read copy all day. We're smart. We know, we can understand what it says. But when you speak to a person in their own language, it goes to their heart. And the best copy in the world strums on the heartstrings, not beats the drum of your head.
Love it. I absolutely love it. Amazing, amazing, amazing quote. So we've got the rocks. The first one is resonate. And you're going to give us the link to the rest of the acronym, and we will share that in here.
I'll whip through the acronym very quickly. It's
all right.
Resonate.
I'm here for it.
Originality.
Yeah, so originality.
The way I term it in the link that will give you is karaoke copy. there's so much bro marketing going on, and we want to take this template and fill out the script. And I bought all of those courses, all of those programs. I was filling out the script. And at the end of it, you know it doesn't sound like you. Your audience doesn't know it sounds like you. And they're going, why are you speaking like that other guy? I'll just go buy from the other guy or from the other guy. So karaoke copy is a killer. So we need to have an original idea, an original offering that is spoken about in original ways.
Right.
The third one is C for continuity. So continuity is a big clunky marketing word, but it literally says that anybody you're speaking to at any time is on a journey from pain to gain, and we got to meet them where they're at on the journey, and say, I know where you're going, and I know how to take you to where you're going.
Right.
K will resonate with you. It's kingship. So kingship is really about establishing a new category in which you are the king, or in your case, the queen bee, and
sovereignty.
Everybody else, sovereignty. There you go. I couldn't find an acronym for a synonym for sovereignty that started with K. So there are not a lot of words with K. Let me tell you, when you try to make an acronym, but I've said too much already. And then S is probably one of the, if you can get the R and the S right, you can forgo the rest of the acronym.
Right.
The acronym is like top end stuff, but the S is about structure. And the problem is most people are saying all the right things in all the wrong places, or they're saying all the wrong things in all the wrong places. And so if you have a clear structure to follow, anybody, even me, can write good copy. So you asked, in the beginning, and I just want to close the loop here, you asked, what have I done? I used to fix and repair blood analysis machines. I used to be a yacht skipper. I used to sell engine components on trucks. I used to be a labor consultant. And I used to be in all of those things, the worst message person. Like, I struggled to sell stuff because it just, I'll tell you, I won't tell you. We're running out of time, and we're not going to go into long stories.
I can listen to you for ages. I've got my dream. I'm fine.
Short version is that if I wanted to tell somebody the nutshell summary of something that they needed to know, I needed a 30-minute runway just to be able to take off. And you said it earlier, there is so much noise. There are so many sharks and octopi and octopuses that are vying for our attention. You literally have 7 seconds or less to grab somebody's attention. If you can't resonate with them in 7 seconds, nobody's going to stick around for your 30-minute runway so that they can figure out if what you're selling is for them or not.
Right.
And so structure is a key part of helping you resonate and hit the right notes in all the right places.
Absolutely. And it's taking them on that journey, isn't it? And having that structure allows you to do so.
Yeah.
So like you said, if you get the R and the S, if you're resonating and you're taking them through that journey, then yes, the middle bit works. Absolutely. And it really will make you stand out. But get those two things right, and beautiful, beautiful music and copy and speaking and all of that will be made. Simon, what have you got coming up? I want to know how to hang out with you more. These lot want to know how to hang out with you more, because you are an absolute genius in your field, and I'm so grateful for you to be here. But we want more. We want to hang out with you.
Well, this has been super cool. Some of the stuff that came out, you just have an amazing way of facilitating rich conversations. So what an amazing privilege to be manipulated.
We've got a gratitude manipulation love fest happening right now up on the show, Rise Up Show. I love it.
So Danny, I've got a few things that are coming up, and I'll just tell you the ones that I think are most valuable to your listeners. So
yeah.
I'm in the process of throwing out not everybody can afford to spend what I charge for copy.
Right, for sure.
And so, but there are a lot of people who are selling cheap hacks that are not helping them. So what
Right.
I'm doing is I'm unpacking my entire methodology, giving it away in the sales page. You can pretty much, any semi-smart person could figure that thing out by themselves. At least get the core components, the structure, understand how to resonate, starting with the problem.
Yep.
And so that is at how to write sales copy that dot rocks.
How to write sales copy that dot rocks. We have got that. We will pop that in. We'll pop that in the comments as well, and make sure we share that with all of you incredible people. We will share it, of course, in the Hive as well. And what else is next? What is next for you? What's coming up for you? Like, what are you excited about?
So I'm excited about. Obviously, I'm working with Jane Baker,
There
and
you are.
I'm really excited about becoming simple in marketing. So this last year has been a journey of me really nutshelling or stripping. There's a scene, I don't know if you've seen that movie, The Italian Job, where they're stealing the gold and they're racing away with the minis. And they have to bring this guy in to strip out all of the stuff so that these minis can hold the weight of all of this gold that they're stealing. And they bring in this specialist who strips out all this stuff, and the mini is still there, but there's just all this stuff lying on the floor. And they go, well, what the hell is all of this stuff at the Pastor Works? And he goes, seat warmers and electric defoggers and all of these things. So I'm wanting to strip all the seat warmers and all the unnecessary padding
all the gumph out of it,
and give people, and the widgets and the widgets, so that people can go, oh, this is what it really is.
Right.
And so working with Jane, I think Jane and I are very aligned in that belief, but she has run far ahead of me in that space. And so I'm excited about taking what she does and who she is and converting that into messaging that allows people to follow.
Right.
Which, I mean, Jane's a brilliant copywriter. She blows me out of the water when it comes to free form posts. Like what Jane can put out in copy in 5 minutes probably takes me 25 minutes because I'm so tied up in my frameworks and my models, and I've got to unlearn all of that stuff.
I think that's the beautiful thing about Jane as well, being that kind of sort of that it's not even like a maverick way that she does things. She does things because she sees how things work. And then she, like you say, stripping out all the crap and saying, actually, no, this is how it works. It's okay for you. You don't have to be told to do things a certain way. And again, I've learned so much from her. I'm so excited that you two are working together, because I just think there's just magic to be made over in that direction. Yeah, totally.
But let me say this quick. For somebody who's going, hang on, I'm confused. You've given me the structure stuff, and then you're telling me strip out all the parts. Learning to ride a bicycle, you often need the balance wheels first so that you don't fall over and scrape your elbows.
Right.
Or your face.
Yeah.
So learning what the right structures and frameworks are, I've put a lot of energy and effort into figuring out what can be stripped out of the mini so that people can pack all the gold in the trunk, in the boot, and get going. So
I love it.
That sales page will give them all of that, but it'll also allow them to cut away all the unnecessary stuff and start to move to a place where they've got momentum. Momentum is everything. And if you don't have momentum, you're going to struggle. And the thing that balance wheels allow you to do is to get some momentum. And then what I'll be doing soon, and I want to just randomly off the top of my head throw out an offer here for one lucky viewer.
Ooh.
And you can package that however you want to do it. But I'm going to be, so I'm in the process of structuring and putting out a $37 offer that teaches my entire methodology. So I'll go beyond where the sales page is at and actually teach you how to do all of that stuff. You can write the most amazing sales page or website by simply answering 24 questions. Some of them are tough questions and you're going to have to think about them. So don't think 24 questions is 24 minutes.
It's like a yes or no thing. You got to think about these things, because if you're going to do anything like that, it is going to require thought. But those 24 questions allow yourself to hold the space, right? To make that happen.
And they cut away all the other 65,000 noisy questions that don't actually move the needle.
Right.
So I'll be putting that out and teaching people. That'll be around. And then I think, so one of the things that I do for people who have taken my structures and are trying to learn how to do them is I will give them a rapid rocks review. So I'll take their sales page or their website or whatever, and I will give it a couple hours, study it, and then give them hints and tips and suggestions, even original ideas and unique positioning angles. So
I don't want to give this away. I want you to do it for me.
Well, I tell you what, because you embody generosity, let's do this. I'll do one for you on condition that you give one away.
Right, so, you're on. You are on.
So I charge $495 for that. So it's not one of these like sort of low ticket things. It's you know, it's anyone who's going to invest in that is serious about their copy. So ideally, we would have someone who is super serious about shifting the needle in their marketing.
Yeah.
So I'll leave that up to you. You can do the hard work of deciding who gets it.
Right.
And I think what would be really cool is if we went, let's do a before and after, and you actually get them on as a guest on the show, and you go, here's what I had before, and here's what I've got after, and use them as a bit of a case study for other people's learning and benefit.
I would absolutely adore that. And would you come on and share what that process has been like with that person? Would that be cool with you? Coming back on the show? Absolutely. Amazing.
I mean, you're inviting me back twice to get profile and publicity. I mean,
come and play. It's about publicity. Like, yeah, all right, fair enough. But this is the fake telly show in my bedroom in Preston. This is no big thing. This is just us getting to know each other. It just so happens that we have hundreds of people watching us whilst we do it. Simon, it's been an absolute joy. For those of you that are watching that want to be involved in that, I'm going to share more details of how you can get involved with that in the IATQB Hive. So this is just for Hive members. The Hive is my free community. Make sure you go and join right now. If you're new to the show and you don't know what that is, that's my free community where we network, we share our successes, share our challenges. Excuse me. It's also where we share incredible things like this. So if you want to get amongst it, you're going to need to be a member of the IATQB Hive. Go and search it now, click join, we'll approve you, and they'll put more details of that amazing offer from Simon in there. So dead quick. So we've got you. We've got your the sales page. We've got that freebie. But how do we just follow you? How do we follow what it is that you do, Simon?
So here's a little confession. Jane Baker is pulling me out of the shadows. I didn't want to be famous. I was loving helping other people do their thing. I'd accepted my lot as a behind the scenes in the shadows producer. So
right.
I don't have any fancy pages. I don't have any groups. I don't have any of that stuff going on yet. There is something that is being cooked up for the medium term.
But let us follow you on the socials, Simon.
Just go to, if you follow me on Instagram, so just look for Simon, it's Simon.Kozlowski.
Yep.
There's probably a total of 9 posts there. So if you start following me, I might have some motivation to actually put stuff
we need
up
to
there.
grow that over there, right?
Yeah. 9 posts and about 12 followers. But if you go onto Facebook, I have just culled a whole lot of disengaged people. So if you send me a friend request, I think my actual thing is Simon.Kozlowski.90 or something is the actual thing. But if you search me, you'll find me. My icon is a little blue thing with a rocks icon, dude, like a Freddie Mercury icon.
Yes.
Pumping his fist in the air, so you'll know that's me. You can send me a request.
Yep.
And if you send me a request, I'm going to accept you as a friend. Be a friend. Don't just hang in the shadows.
Right. That's
otherwise
important.
you'll probably get culled.
Yeah, exactly. We've got to know who we're friends with. Otherwise, are we going to be friends? You know, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Simon, thank you for being one of my newest friends. This is not going to be the last time that we have a conversation. I have no doubt in my mind. It's been an absolute pleasure. We're a slightly extended show this morning, but absolutely tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of value, plus an offer that you can get amongst in the IATQB Hive. Simon, you're an angel, a gentleman, and a scholar, and I will see you very, very soon.
Thank you so much. This has been amazing. I had a blast.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. You too, my friend. So what an incredible show. I hope you lot were taking notes, and if you weren't, you need to go back and rewatch and go and take some notes. There was some gold in them there hills this morning, my loves. Okay, so a couple of things. Find out more about how you're going to get involved with Simon's offer this morning of taking you through those 24 questions and creating a sales page. He's going to have a look at that for you and give you some feedback, and then we're going to come back onto the show and do a before and after, and we can share what we've done together. That's so exciting to be able to do that and offer that. Thank you, Simon, for that. You've got to be in the IATQB Hive to find out more, so I'll post on that a little bit later on today when we've worked out how you can be awarded that. How do you get amongst that? The other thing is that sales of Be Inspired tickets are now open. It is going to be online in a TV studio, completely interactive. You're going to be able to get involved with it. You're also going to be able to become an affiliate for the ticket sales and earn your ticket price back in your back pockets. So if you do want to be an affiliate for ticket sales for Be Inspired, please do let me know in response to the email that I will send out later on today. I am beyond excited to bring all of the incredible speakers to you. They will be on the show in the run up to the event. We're going to be telling you more about our incredible speakers in speaker spotlights over emails. It is just gonna be such an incredible event. We've also got, look, it's all going off in here. We've got the Move Be Challenge coming up at the end of this month. We've got Be Inspired happening. It is all popping off, and I am in talks with about 3-4 people for that one last space on the Be More program. I wonder who it's going to be. So really, really exciting things up in IATQB HQ. Have an incredible day today. I will see you tomorrow at 9:30 for more Showing Up, Wising Up and Rising Up. What a wicked show today. Have a great one. I love you. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. And let's rip it up today, yeah? Shall we? See you tomorrow.